Reminder, I play on Minecraft Java Edition. Seeds in Java Edition and Bedrock Edition are similar, but still a bit different. Structures like villages or mansions do not generate in the same places between versions. Terrain will be very similar, but things like trees will often generate a bit differently. Version parity does not mean everything is the same, just know that before using these seeds on Bedrock Edition. What's better than one blacksmith building? 2 blacksmith buildings. What's better than 2 blacksmith buildings? 3 blacksmith buildings. And what's better than 3 blacksmith buildings? 4 blacksmith buildings. That's right, this village has 4 blacksmith buildings. Here's the loot in the first one. Here's the loot in the second one. Here's the loot in the third one. And here's the loot in the fourth one. This is just a pretty stacked village to start off with. Just awesome. I want to show every village variant in this video, so let's go ahead and see a Taiga village now. Check out how big of a Taiga biome this is too. And look at this big lush ravine right next to the village too. This village is a pretty decent size overall, and has got a couple blacksmiths too. I really do like the look of Taiga villages. Next up, let's take a look at a double village seed. Speaking of which, be sure to check out my recent double village seed showcase video and look out for more in that series coming soon too. Let's take a look at the village closest to spawn first. I really like how many buildings are packed into the small area here, and I like how there's a blacksmith within the village too. And then we've got the other village right next to it. This is some pretty weird terrain right here, and this ravine thing right here actually leads down to a massive cave. And there's even pieces of the village all the way down at the lava level. I mean, this is just really cool. And this is just a really cool double village seed. In Java Edition Minecraft, zombie villages are pretty rare, so finding one at spawn like this is pretty awesome. It's just a small little abandoned village. And that's all that there really is to say about it. You may have noticed that there's one more village right over here though. This one generating in the water looks kinda cool. And having a blacksmith here is pretty cool too. And then there's another village on the other side of spawn too. A lot of this one generates within the river biome, and it's got some funky terrain here. But yeah, if you're looking for a zombie village spawn seed, here you go. Let's see another village variant with a Savanna village this time. This is probably my least favorite of all the village variants, personally. Let me know if you like Savanna villages though. I know somebody out there probably does. This one is in a really big Savanna biome, and there's a blacksmith within the village too. So there's your Savanna village seed. At seed number 15, I've got one of my classic island village seeds. Always a personal favorite of mine. And based off of reception, many of you like these too. Something about a village out on an island on its own like this is really cool. I always like how the village generating into the ocean looks. The village comes with 2 tannery buildings within it. Those at least give a chance at getting emeralds and starting armor. Not the craziest of island villages I've ever shown, but an island village nonetheless. Let's check off one more village variant with a desert village. But you know me, I'm not just showing a desert village. I'm showing a village with a desert temple in it too. The generation of the temple conflicts with a blacksmith building and a house building which looks like a tower. Fun fact, the tower house is actually named Desert Small House 6. Anyway, remember to grab that blacksmith loot. Despite the conflicting buildings, the side entrances of the temple make for easy access to the bottom, which of course has 4 chests with loot. Right next to the village is this big dripstone ravine, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's a desert temple village seed for you guys to check out. I show a lot of crazy villages in these videos, but it's nice to just show a classic village too. So that's what we have here, a classic plains village. And if you like seeing classic villages, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Okay, that was probably one of my worst segues ever, but whatever, it's staying in. I've received comments saying they just want regular villages, and it doesn't get more regular than a plains village, inside of a big plains biome like this one. There's a lot of buildings packed into this village too, and that does include a blacksmith building. Also, this massive crater and cave area being right next to the village makes it even more great. And look at this right here. Yeah, such easy access to a zombie spawner dungeon. So you get the chests here for some loot, and it's a perfect spot to build a zombie farm right at spawn. This is just a really great classic plains village seed. And now it's time to see the only village variant that we haven't seen yet in this video, a snowy village. These types of villages are the ones I do searches for the least, because I just don't really ever want to spawn into a cold biome. But I must say, I do love the look of the buildings in these villages. The mix of building types always looks cool. I especially like the look of the blacksmith building. Of course, the chance at blacksmith loot is always nice too. Speaking of buildings, this one right here is an igloo. It generates like it's a part of the village. It fits right in. And it's got a basement too, so go ahead and transform the zombie villager or do whatever else you want down here. But yeah, there's an igloo village seed for you guys. This village is in a biome it probably doesn't belong in. We actually spawn in this little ravine type area down here and instantly see a village path. Getting out of the little area leads us to a village in a flower forest biome. The village generates on the side of a hill, and it's in all different elevation levels. I especially like this little section here. Definitely a less traditional plains type village, I'd say. Getting into the final 10 seeds, we're going to check out another one of those seeds that I almost always feature in a village seeds video. That's a jungle temple village seed. This village generates in a little plains that's between the jungle and a savanna biome, and next to a forest. The jungle temple generates next to a few village buildings and even conflicts with a couple of them. You can see a village path in the temple. There's a chest behind the lever wall in the temple and a chest at the back too. There's also a blacksmith building within the village for a chance at even more loot for you. This is a pretty decent seed for some quick access to loot. This seed has a village in a meadow biome. When looking for plains variant villages, I typically try to stay with plains biomes, but there's some good reasons for featuring this meadow seed here. The village is a pretty decent size. There's 10 total buildings, and it stretches into a dark forest. And then underground, there's a zombie spawner. Always nice to be able to find a spawner near spawn, even if you just want to get the loot, which in this case I found 2 golden apples. But continuing down underground, there's an ancient city. I mean, this is just awesome to know that it's down here. Having this underneath spawn is just fantastic. But this over here is what I haven't talked about yet. Yeah, this is actually a woodland mansion village seed. And the woodland mansion sits down partly covered by the hilly terrain. There's this little piece of dripstone terrain inside of the mansion here. But yeah, you knew I was going to show a mansion village seed in this video, and there it was. One thing I really like to find is villages that have giant ruined portals in them. I don't really know why, but I just think they look really cool. It's almost like the village was built around the portal at one point. The portal in this one isn't directly in the middle of the village, but it still looks pretty cool with it being right here. The portal gives a chance at some quick loot right at spawn, and the village gets some bonus points for having a blacksmith building. And just over southwest, there's another village too. This village is actually really awesome. It comes with 2 temple buildings and 2 blacksmith buildings. And then northwest, there's one more village. It's another plains village, and guess what? It's another blacksmith village. So what started off as a ruined portal village seed also turned into a seed that has 3 blacksmith villages. We already saw one village island, but let's change it up this time with a Taiga village island. Before we see that Taiga island, go ahead and comment with the word house. That helps me know how long people are making it into the videos so I can improve them in the future. But yeah, this island village is pretty awesome. There are 2 blacksmiths right next to each other, of course both with loot. This little terrain spot here looks really cool. There's this path that leads out into the ocean with an ocean monument right nearby. The Taiga village on its own little island out here in the ocean just looks really awesome. Overall, just a really cool island village seed. I like finding seeds with villages in places they don't really belong. That's the case here, with the village being almost fully in a sparse jungle. Obviously, for it to generate, it needed that little bit of plains biome, but it's hardly visible. The little sparse jungle trees all around look really cool, and the bright green of the jungle just gives this place a different feel. The village itself is a fair size, and it's got a blacksmith in it. I really like this seed. Let's go ahead and stay on that theme and have a village in a biome it shouldn't be in. This time, obviously, we've got a village in a cherry grove biome. The pink petals all around the village just make this place look beautiful. The village generates in a portion of lower level elevation within the biome. Overall, it's not the biggest of villages. I like how this building generates over this cave entrance. I like the height elevation of this area, and I think down there could be a cool spot to build. Pretty cool seed here. We saw that double village earlier in the video. Now I think it's finally time we see a triple village. These 3 villages are all really close together. The spawn village is a fair size. It has 8 buildings, and that includes a blacksmith building for some loot, and it's right on top of this big dripstone cave, which just looks incredible. And then we have the second village right over here. This is easily the biggest village with 18 buildings, and that includes a blacksmith in this one too. And then we've got this final village right here. No doubt that this is the smallest village with 6 buildings, but again, it's another blacksmith village. And this one has this really cool area that leads to a dripstone mineshaft area. So there you go, a triple village seed. As we make our way into the final 3 seeds, well, the village in the seeds isn't directly at spawn, but that's for good reason, and these mountains might be a good hint as to where the village is. Within the mountain ring, there's a village and mansion. I mean, Minecraft world generation doesn't get much better than this. This is just spectacular. When I do seed searching, this is the type of Minecraft seed I hope to find. The village is a fairly standard plains type village. It generates partly in the meadow and partly in the dark forest. This building is against the side of the mansion, and then this building is inside of the mansion with just the roof poking through. Up on the top floor of the mansion, you can break into this room which has a spider spawner that could be useful. Near the mansion and village, there's this pretty cool dripstone terrain area. There's also this ruined portal, so that's one more structure within the mountains and one more place for some loot too. So there's that seed, just an absolutely incredible seed. Not many words to describe how awesome it is. Windswept terrain is the craziest terrain you can get in just base vanilla Minecraft. Adding in a structure like a village into the mix just makes it look even crazier. We've got buildings at different elevations, we've got lava falls, we've got waterfalls, we've got a building all the way up here. We've got a path all the way down here. The Windswept village just looks really cool, and that's all there is to it. As is pretty much tradition, I'm going to end off the video with a mansion village seed. So that makes a total of 3 mansion village seeds in this video. And this right here is the reason why I wanted to share this one. I mean, the farm being on top of the roof of the mansion just looks so cool. But watch this. If I break into the ceiling here, there's actually 2 chests in the ceiling portion for some loot. And then another 2 chests breaking through here, right underneath the farm. So that's 4 chests of loot for you to grab if you want. This building generates on the side of the mansion, as does this building. These 2 buildings generate inside of the mansion, as does this animal pen, and this building, and this meeting point. And you'll find paths throughout the mansion, like this mess in an arena room. So yeah, there's a mansion village seed to end things off. I recently updated my channel membership, so if you want to have early access to videos and other perks while supporting me a bit, go ahead and check that out. Another way to support me is just by leaving a like on this video. And for more Minecraft videos, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Go ahead and click one of the videos on screen now to watch another video right now. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here. See ya.